Buongiorno, ladies and fucksticks. In this video, you might want to stick around because I want to talk about a brand new cryptocurrency called Time.
Wet ass P word. Make that pullout game weak.
Now, this thing has been flying under the radar, wrongfully so, for a couple reasons that I want to delve into that I think are frankly unwarranted in their dismissal. So I want to run through the opportunity with this brand new innovative cryptocurrency, talk about what I'm doing, and talk about whether or not you should be paying attention. Because folks, look, at the end of the day here, we're all trying to get rich. This is why we pay attention to crypto. And while I don't know whether or not, this thing's like a 100x gem, I'm sure we're all used to seeing those, BitBoy crypto videos talking about 100x gems. And I've been a victim of those videos myself. Like I remember buying one or two BitBoy crypto 100x low cap gems, and they ended up doing anything but growing 100x. So I think a lot of people are kind of wary and skeptical of those kinds of narratives and those kinds of branding in the crypto space. But every now and again, there is a diamond in the rough, a needle in the haystack that I think is worth paying attention to. And this cryptocurrency in particular, Time, that I'm going on to discuss, I think has the potential to be one of those rare plays that's kind of new and innovative and out there. But if it gets a little bit of adoption and if it starts getting some steam, I think it might have great potential. And it's a multi-system coin as well. So I'm going to delve into all this good stuff. Folks, make sure you stick around to the end of the video. Without further ado, let's delve into it.
Your boyfriend, he don't know anything about our age. A true flab in crypto. I wish that I could make her see.
Introducing Internet Money Wallet Dividend.
It's called Time now.
Instead of traditional fees for swapping crypto assets, the Internet Money Wallet fees are paid in the form of a blockchain's native coin. Those fees are locked in an immutable smart contract with no admin keys, where WD holders can claim their portion of the fees as frequently as every block. 100% of wallet revenue is distributed to WD holders. You do not need to lock your WD up in any way. Simply hold WD on your desired blockchain and earn passive income in the form of Pulse, ETH, BNB, and other native coins. Earn passive income. Free your time. Learn more at internetmoney.io.
So fuckers, listen up. This is essentially a token that is part of a wallet, very similar to MetaMask, where MetaMask, if you do a swap within the wallet, charges a fee that goes back to the team. But with this whole idea is to essentially create a competitor, another version to MetaMask. Instead of taking the fees all to themselves, they redistribute the fees back to the token holders. Now, if we take a look at how many people use MetaMask, it's somewhere between 21 million and 5 million and 50 million. There's not a whole lot of solid answers. We're being told 21 million according to EarthWeb. We can also see that they have somewhere in between. We can also see that they have anywhere from 30 million to 300 million in US dollars in terms of volume on a daily basis here. So a shit ton of users, a shit ton of fees. Now this thing will be taking, I believe, a fee of 0.29% and redistributing that back to the token holders. If we take a look at kind of what might be a somewhat average day in terms of volume for MetaMask, let's just go with the number 50 million. Hey Google, what is 0.729% of 50 million?
0.79% of 50 million is 395,000.
So roughly $400,000 a day being redistributed to about 2,136 token holders. If Time ever goes on to get a similar amount of users and volume as MetaMask. Ladies and genitals, this is why this is a big deal. Because right now, there are only there are exactly 2,136 addresses holding this token on Ethereum. Many of those wallets probably belong to the same owner, meaning the amount of people who hold this token and are participating within the Time ecosystem is a tiny, 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 tiny amount compared to the amount of users, 21 million monthly active users that MetaMask has. Meaning, if this wallet can even get a fraction of the success that MetaMask has during kind of an average off-peak day, then the potential is absolutely massive. Now, so far, Time has managed to launch on Ethereum and on Binance Smart Chain, so you can trade it on PancakeSwap as well. But there's a second token of the ecosystem worth taking a look at as well, and this thing is called Future. So what Future is a token that will get airdropped future time tokens. And again, the time token is a thing that receives the redistributed fees from the wallet on future chains that they may launch on. So for example, right now, Time is on Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. But one day Time might be on Phantom, Avalanche, Polkadot, Cardano, whatever it is, you name it. And if and when that happens, those who sacrifice or those who hold the future token will get Time on those new chains. And in a world where there's so much bullshit in crypto, so many, wild, innovative ideas with not a proven track record, it is a breath of fresh air to be able to participate in a DeFi token that has a simple, no-brainer use case. It's a wallet, a cryptocurrency wallet that redistributes the fees back to the token holders. Why there's not 100 other people doing this, I don't know.
Richard Hart here, founder of Hex. Yes, I am working on a replacement for MetaMask. Will there be a token associated with the MetaMask project? Will there be a sacrifice for it? I don't know, probably, but once again, not going to have anything. I want to get the things that we already have in the pipeline done and out.
And speaking of other people realizing what a good idea this is, Richard Hart over here has in the past spoken of creating his own wallet and his own competitor to MetaMask and a token coming with it, which I think is part of the reason why Time, some random third-party competitor, has kind of flown under the radar. And look, granted, if Richard Hart comes out with a MetaMask competitor, he's probably going to get a lot more notoriety, and that wallet is probably going to get a lot of initial attention because of how popular Richard Hart is, and rightly so. But with that being said, there's one big thing that I think people are missing out on, which is the fact that Pulse Chain has goddamn taken over 2 years since the sacrifice phase comes out. By the time Richard Hart gets done working on Pulse Chain, PulseX does another sacrifice phase, hires a bunch of developers, and puts out his version of this coin in his competitor to MetaMask, it's going to be the goddamn bear market in 2026, 2027. It's going to take years. Time in which Time will have the time to grow for itself, get its own community, and get a slice of the market. Since it'll probably be years before Richard Hart comes out with his version of this, I think this thing has a fighting chance to grow and get some slice of the market. And even if this does end up being less utilized than the Richard Hart version, that's not the end of the world. Second place to a wildly popular and beneficial idea can still be massively valuable. If anything, Richard Hart launching his competitor version to Time and MetaMask will be beneficial towards Time because it's raising awareness of this whole idea. This is a brand new niche in crypto that hasn't been thought of before. And so if anything, it's just bringing a bunch of attention to the idea. And so I think Time is being, number one, wrongly dismissed from within the Richard Hart ecosystem. And in regards to the greater crypto ecosystem, nobody's even heard about this idea. Folks, part of the reason why I'm making this video is, yes, I sacrificed myself. But most importantly is because I think this opportunity falls under the set of my personal criteria that I've come up with for finding an investment opportunity with the potential of outperforming the market. Because folks, if you want normal gains, go invest in whatever Bitcoin Crypto talks about most often, XRP, Cardano. But if you want to do better than the average, you got to do what the average person isn't doing. And what the average person isn't doing is trying to find high quality opportunities that are very early at a good valuation that a lot of people haven't heard about, but that's addressing a large total addressable market and has the ability to pull it off, either do the fundamentals, tokenomics, ecosystem, community, whatever it may be. And again, even though this is speculative because we don't know whether or not there will be a lot of adoption of this wallet, it's a very solid idea. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. They're taking a proven concept, which is MetaMask, and just redistributing the fees back to the people instead of the team itself. It's a no-brainer. In fact, I actually helped provide liquidity for this ecosystem. I won't mention what token or at what time, but folks, look, this is a wildly illiquid coin. I mean, there's only 3.5k in liquidity. I mean, I've never by myself made a green candle with one buy before. I am in fact responsible for one of these green candles. I'm not going to tell you which one, but that was very funny to see because it was extremely liquid at the time. And even though the liquidity has improved quite a bit, it is still incredibly illiquid. But again, I view this all as a good sign. The fact that there's only 2,100 token holders on Ethereum, with probably many of those wallets being controlled by a single individual, there's fucking nothing for liquidity. The market cap is tiny as fuck. There was like $2.4 million sacrificed during the raise. So it's at a great valuations. No one's fucking heard of it. And it's addressing a large total addressable market with the ability to actually pull it off. Folks, let me know what you think down in the comments below. You know, I've made it clear on this channel that I'm going all in on the Pulse chain, PulseX, Hex ecosystem. And while that is true, I think opportunities such as this warrant perhaps, 2%, 5%, 10% allocation of one's portfolio, potentially speaking. At least that's how I personally rationalize diversifying into other cryptos. I want the bulk of my portfolio to remain Pulse Chain, PulseX, Hex, because I think those are the most solid cryptocurrencies with the highest degree of likelihood of performing well. But if you like another idea and if you want to scratch that degen itch, 3%, 5%, 10% portfolio allocation to a brand new innovative idea that you like is how I personally choose to go about diversifying into ideas such as this. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, folks. Until next time, take care.